Fresh oregano is quite different than dried. It has a much more floral kind of flavor and scent to it. Let's chop these. This is pretty easy too, like I said. All you're doing is really making a vinaigrette and you're dicing up some mushrooms. These last a couple days as well. You could, if you wanted to, you could use shiitakes in this. You could probably use creminis, little cremini mushrooms, like those as well. Just giving this a rough chop. Quick chop. Put this ready into the vinaigrette. I'm putting everything into the vinaigrette before I put the oil. The oil always goes last, and we whisk in the oil at the last stage. That way we emulsify it. Technically, if you really want to think about it, it's going to break when it heats up. But we're trying to have a good emulsified vinaigrette. Some salt. We got tomatoes. We're going to put tomatoes right in here. I'm going to put those right in here with the mushroom. We're going to put some pepper. Bless you. Alright, so whisk this up. And then I'm going to just gradually add this olive oil. I left the skin on the tomato. So we just bring that together. Add the rest of that. Okay, and then I'm taking this right into here. So right here, I'm going to put this right there. What's that?
They can see now.
Oh, okay. I'll just try and keep towards the front. Get that all in. Stir this up. Try not to break up the mushrooms. We don't want to mash them. We want to just combine all of it. The mushrooms are going to release liquid as well, so you're going to. They might look really thick now, but it's going to all loosen up after they heat up. So basically, it's mixed like that. We're then going to add. We're going to just turn the heat on, put the lid on. I'm going to put it on high. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on, and then I'm going to check it every once in a while. And as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to stir, stir, stir. Cut the heat, push it off the side, and keep the lid on. Steep even more. Let's take a look at our roasted mushrooms, which are starting to sizzle. They're looking, and they smell great. We don't have smell-o-vision though. All right, another dish. 2 simple dishes, lots and lots of flavor. All right, so this last dish is gonna be, here we go. I'm gonna use maitake mushrooms. All right, it's a maitake, and we're gonna use shiitakes. Maitake is a big, meaty flavor once again. This kind of lingers. Move this here. Look at that. In case we need those. So the idea behind this dish, this is a sauteed mushroom, let's call it a sauteed wild mushroom with Swiss chard and prosciutto, finished with some shaved Asiago. There you go, we got a finished dish. Let's think of all these little side dishes. Years ago, I learned to take mushrooms and to properly saute. Key way to cook them is you cut them in like sizes that are be able to like pick up with a spoon or fork. And the thing is, when we saute them in batches on high heat, moving the pan and keeping that high heat going and trying to caramelize the mushrooms on all sides and not throwing everything in the pan at one time. Okay? What happens if you throw it in the pan all at one time, you're going to bring the temperature of the pan down, and then you're going to the mushrooms are going to kind of stew, and then they're going to release all their liquid, and they're going to just have like a mushy kind of texture. Almost. We're going to let that go a little bit more. It's really burning. Let's turn it down here. I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. Didn't look good. So, by doing that, you get really great texture to the mushroom. They'll like be caramelized, they'll have a bite, they won't be mush. It's not like cracking open a can of mushrooms, you know, they're all soft and everything. This is a great way to saute. I saute mushrooms this way, that's all I do now. So it's high heat the whole time. And what we want to do is just break these up into pieces. These are nice because all you have to do is break them up. Alright? If they're big, you cut them down. I think we'll do that. Let's do a couple more. Best time to eat mushrooms, I was always taught, is the fall. Is that right? The fall? Do they harvest in the fall, or it's all year now? So, for years I was taught in the fall, but now all year. My favorite mushroom of all is the chanterelle. Love chanterelles. Those saute wonderfully. All right, let's move these up. We're going to cut some shiitakes. The other thing about doing this dish is I'm going to use some aromatics. I'm going to use shallots and a little touch of garlic. I prefer shallots with mushrooms. It's a great aromatic. So I'm going to saute those, and what I do is I get the mushrooms going first, shake the pan, get it going, then we add the shallots. If we add the shallots right away, we might burn the shallots. We don't want to burn the shallots because we're doing a high heat saute. So we'll cook the mushrooms first, we'll then add the shallots, then I'll add the salt and pepper, shake, 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 put it on a plate, and just keep that rhythm going. I don't use shiitake stems for this dish. But in restaurants, we would use shiitake stems for our veal stock. Or I'd use that for my soup. Alright, how's this going? Let's get this. Oh yeah, I like that. So, here this is how it looks. It's kind of cooked, broken down. See that? Alright. That's the stage I want. I'm going to put that lid on. I'm going to turn this off.